Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video I will be painting an owl and share a few thoughts with you, including some worries about the world we live in. As you can see, I got everything set up. Today I'm painting on paper, and it's one of those pieces I prepared in my basement vlog, if you've seen that. In short, I'm making some cozy pictures to fit in some old frames I have from a charity shop. While I paint, I'd like to share some thoughts with you, so sit back and relax and let's get started. Now, I've always had a deep emotional need to create. I've painted on and off since I was a child. I make my own little games for my friends to play, and that even turned into a love for D&D, where I really get to make everything I want. I write, although not a lot, and I've even dabbled in video game coding. So trust me when I say that I cannot stop making stuff, even if I don't finish it, or even if it isn't very good. But it's like a language to me, and a hunger at the same time. There's been long stretches of time where I haven't had a lot of options to create, such as when I was studying, but now I hope to spend a lot more time expressing myself. Creating with oil paint is particularly interesting. A lot of people are turned off by the slow drying time, but for me it's a blessing, as I often work slow and I appreciate the way I can blend wet and wet without having to hurry. If you ever considered trying out oil paints but have hesitated, maybe this is your sign to give it a go. While we're getting the basic of the picture down, I want to talk a bit about current affairs. The development in the US is scary, and that's coming from someone who are halfway around the globe and looking from the outside. I cannot imagine how terrifying it must be to live in it right now, with the way Trump is tearing the country apart. I don't think anyone at this point can ignore the danger he represents, as his executive orders has even begun to hurt his own key voters. As a Danish citizen, it is extremely concerning that he has outspokenly declared intentions to invade Greenland, one of our beloved Atlantic regions. Not the least because acting on it would result in basically a world war, as NATO would have to act to protect its member states. And one can only speculate what would happen in such an event, not the least because the US have not been particularly good at making friends with the rest of the world either. China, Russia, and the nations in Africa and South America have not had a lot of good reasons to support the US, and a warmongering dictator rarely has a great pick of allies. I digress. Let's agree that the political climate is uneasy, and that we're all looking forward to a better time, a different time. But I do honestly believe that art and creativity can be a help and support for those who are struggling in these times. Personally, I'm rather privileged, but so many are not, and it's important to remember that in times of great stress, the importance to not let one's emotion build up inside and boil over. Here, art and creativity can be an important relief of anger and grief and sorrow and sadness and all those hurtful emotions that are in ample supply these days. If you are struggling, I hope you have a good support network and are able to talk freely with someone you trust. And if all else fails, show the world how you feel, in color, with words and energy. For me, art helps distract me from the development in the US. There are so many things to worry about, but art is a free emotional stimulant that helps make the world just a little bit better. But let's get back on track here. The owl is coming along nicely. I spent about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, on this picture in total. And while there are areas where I could definitely refine the picture better, I think it serves as a good purpose of being faster and looser painting. They say perfectionism is the enemy of good, and I think this turned out to be a good painting. Take that for what you will. While oil can be a tricky medium to get started with, it is one that few people regret once they've tried it a few times. The things you can do with this paint is amazing, yet sometimes it feels like you are pushing colorful mud around with a stick. But I do love it, and I don't think I'll ever paint with another medium as much as I will paint with oil. see many rules and tips on what to do with oil paints, and often they are presented as hard rules. Do this or your painting is ruined is a troublesome mentality to get pushed onto you when you're just starting up. In my opinion, the only rule for a beginner is to not add anything while you're getting started. No thinners, no extra oil, no fat and no lean. Just learn how to move the paint and mix it, and you are halfway to a great oil painter. Before I wrap up today's video, I want to say how much I appreciate the online art community. I just rounded 10 subscribers, and while that is minute in the grand scheme of things, it is comforting to know that there are some people who wish me well already in this early stage. And I'm sorry there wasn't a lot of silly humor in this video. I do try to include that, but the whole situation in the US is making it harder to laugh these days. But alas. If you are someone who enjoys creating, please feel free to tell me more about it in the comments. You'll probably be the first, and that is kind of special. With that, the owl is finished. I am very happy with the shapes and colors, but I would have liked to have more background. Although with a small piece of paper like this, it would not have been an easy task. I've already started on the next piece for the second-hand frames. So stay tuned for that one, and give a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, or if it's made you think about life and the world. And remember, even if things are bad right now, they will get better. Just hang in there and be the best you can. Hey, I forgot to make a proper outro. So please enjoy this black nothing, or click on the video suggestion that popped up on your screen. It's a good one, although a bit odd, like me.